Please welcome Christiane Turner.
Oh, thank you so much for this wonderful, warm welcome, for all the many, many hugs I already received and your beautiful energy you're bringing to this lovely center. It's great to see all your loving, smiling faces. This is wonderful to be here. And I would like to start out today simply by giving thanks. Can we all just take a nice deep breath together? And just think of 3 little things that happened this morning that just made you grateful. I woke up with a wonderful, warm, fuzzy blanket. I had a great cup of coffee. And then also just reading the book that I'm reading currently, cuddling up with my coffee and reading it. There was just those moments of just joy and gratitude that I got to experience this morning. Some of many, many more, like looking at this beautiful blue sky, seeing how gorgeous the mountains are looking. The yellow leaves are just spectacular. The colors are just tremendous. So think of some of those things in your life right here, right now, and just give thanks in your heart. And right there, you are in a mindset of gratitude. Let me tell you a little story that happened a few weeks ago. I got back on October 6th from my 3 months trip, and I brought 2 German friends with me. They had wanted to come to America and see the Southwest, and so we traveled together. We then went to Kanab together, and we did Zion and all the special parks around the area, and of course the big grand finale was the Grand Canyon. So I had built it up. We were going to the Grand Canyon, even though the lodge had burned down on the North Rim. There were still certain spots that were open to the public. And we hopped in the car. I took my little granddaughter with us, Matilda, she's 3 years old, and went on our adventure. And then, of course, they wanted to take a picture right there at the entrance, Grand Canyon National Park. So we're hopping out. I turn off the car. We're taking some pictures, get back into the car, and the car's not starting. So that's one of those moments where we're not grateful, right? We immediately go into, oh, what am I going to do? And of course, I tried multiple more times to start the car. There was nothing more than a click. And then immediately we had people pulling over once they saw that the hood was open. Super helpful, super nice people. We had multiple people that showed up. Some had jumpers, cables, some didn't. And then one person offered to help us. And for 15 minutes, we tried to jump the car. It just wouldn't happen. By that time, the ranger had showed up because the ranger house is just a couple of 100 yards in front of us. And he's like, oh, ladies, I don't want you to sit here on the side of the road. Why don't you come into my ranger house? By that time, I'm thinking, okay, I got the 2 Germans with me. I got a 3-year-old. There's no toilets up there. What are we going to do? How am I going to get us home? How am I going to get the car back to Kanab? Because by that time, we're 100 miles in the boonies, and I know what they're charging to get you towed in Kanab. So I'm like, okay, figure all of this out step by step. The ranger had a satellite phone, so I called a couple of people, made some arrangements. In the meantime, my German friends flagged down a car and got a ride back to Kanab. So I'm like, good, they are taken care of. And funny enough, they ended up with a couple from Mainz, which is literally 10 miles from our hometown. So they had a fabulous time. They went to Jacob's Lake together. They got cookies together. They had a wonderful, wonderful drive home. I'm like, good, they're taken care of. Then I'm sitting there with my little 3-year-old, and I kept telling her, man, we're having a great adventure here. This is so much fun. And she kept saying it. She was excited. She never even understood the situation of what I was dealing with and what the ramifications could be of having a broken down car up on the Kaiba Plateau. So after I made some other decisions, I decided, okay, all I need to do right now is get that kid back to Kanab, and then I'm going to figure out how I get the car back and whatever. No big deal. I flagged down a car, and it was a truck. And he had a pretty substantial system on the back of his truck, what do you call it, like a camper. And it was pretty hefty. I'm like, okay, this is good. And I asked the gentleman if he was going to Jacob's Lake or Kanab, and he told me, no, I'm sorry, ma'am, I'm not, I'm actually pulling over there because I'm camping here for a while, but I can look at your car and I can jumpstart it for you. I'm like, no, don't worry about it because we already tried that and it didn't work and blah, blah, blah. I'm giving him all these explanations of why it's not going to work. And then there was a shift. And he stood in front of me, he looked me deep in the eyes, and he said, I'm a mechanic. Let me try. I have a little computer, and I'm just going to see if it works, okay? I'm like, okay, let's do it. So I grabbed Matilda, we're hopping in the truck, go into the car, opening the hood. He pulls out a little, I didn't know that existed, a little, what is it called, energy, battery booster, hooks it up to the car, and what does the car do? It immediately started. And I'm like, what? Really? And I'm like, oh, sir, you have good karma for the rest of your life. And I thanked him and hugs and everything. And he said, don't turn off the car. Just go all the way back to Knapp. Go directly to your mechanic. It's going to be okay. I'm like, okay, thank you so much. So I left, and Matilda is sitting in the back. She's like, oh, Ma, this is such a great adventure. And we're singing on the way home. ABBA, The Dancing Queen is our favorite song. It was spectacular. And of course, the whole time I'm praying that the car won't stall or that I don't have to stop or anything like that. So, made it to the mechanic. Didn't know batteries were that expensive. Didn't know that my car needed 2 batteries. Never heard of that. Okay. Well, pay the bill, move on with life. On the next day, Tuesday, I'm going to meditation. I have a meditation group that I'm a part of every week, and it's half an hour. And at the end, they ring a bell. So I'm sitting there, meditating, doing my thing and visualizing and clearing my mind and whatever. And then that little thought hit me after a while. I'm like, it's getting time. I have that internal clock that knows when it's time to wrap up. And in that moment, this thought flashed in my mind. When Sean and I met 38 years ago, he was a mechanic in the Air Force. He was actually in the Army, but he worked for the Air Force in Germany. And then when he retired from the Army, he became an aircraft mechanic. And so it was an ongoing joke in our relationship whenever I would freak out and whenever there were issues or problems or something needed to be figured out or we didn't have an answer right away, he would just look me deep in the eyes and say, don't worry, I'm a mechanic. And that thought hit me right before the bell hit. And I went, oh my God, that guy said I'm a mechanic. And I knew in that moment that that was a special event. That was, you can call it an angel, it was Sean's spirit, whatever you want to call it. But that was one of those pivotal moments of knowing, just a deep, deep, deep knowingness that everything is good in the universe. Everybody who stopped was helpful, was kind, was loving, fun. It was just an all-around awesome experience. And now it turned into a great story that I get to tell. And I'm deeply grateful that it happened, because if it hadn't happened, I would have never had that experience of this gentleman standing in front of me and saying, I am a mechanic. And what he told me was, it's going to be okay. There's nothing to worry about. Everything can be figured out. So I want to share that story with you as just one little tiny example of how easy it is to turn something that could be considered dramatic or unsuccessful or embarrassing. Because, yeah, I was embarrassed. I wanted to show my friends the Grand Canyon, and I didn't. You know, we broke down instead. Oh, great. And instead, now it's this wonderful story of gratitude. It was a miracle that unfolded itself right in front of my eyes, and I am deeply grateful that I got to have that experience. Mark shared with me a story a moment ago about a car accident that he had. And I'm not going to get into details. The point is, it turned out all right. Everybody was well. And in the end effect, it is a gratitude story. It is something positive that he can now share. And I know we all have examples like that. Every single one of you has hundreds, has thousands of examples that you have gathered in your lifetime in that regard. That there are things that might have looked negative, that might have looked challenging on the surface, and then when you dug down a little bit, it actually was something to be deeply grateful for. So think of one of those right now. Go into your past, scan your life a little bit, and then just think of one of those pivotal moments that could have been considered negative and then actually turned out positive. And you were able to be deeply grateful for that experience as it showed up for you, and what it brought into your life. A learning, an insight, some kind of raising your vibration, making a big change. We all have those, don't we? Yeah. And you know, I'm all about the practical application. So there's one thing to say, yeah, why don't you just cultivate a mindset of gratitude? And then the mind goes, so how do I do that? So I'm going to give you a few tips and a few suggestions how you can do it. And that's where, of course, I go into my treasure box of NLP, which is Neuro-Linguistic Programming. That's my study that I've been doing for 30 years now, all of a sudden, something I'm deeply grateful for, that it came into my life, and that has given me some very specific tools on how I can talk to myself and how I can process my emotions to be more in the flow with life and have a more joyful experience. And what we do in NLP is we like to play with our imagination. Like Albert Einstein said, imagination is the most powerful thing in this universe. Cultivate your imagination. And what we do is we think of, what I just did with you guys, think of something in your past. I would like for you to think of a pivotal experience in your life right now of just ultimate joyful gratitude. Go there right now in your mind. It might be, for me, immediately where my mind went was when we sit in front of the Christmas tree, my father plays the guitar, my uncle plays the guitar, someone plays the piano, and then we all harmonize together. And because we are a pretty big family, it's like getting a little choir together. And I would bawl my eyes out when we got to Silent Night, Holy Night. Total, anytime I think of that, it just, chokes me up. It's just one of those super mega awesome childhood memories that I have. Or playing cards with my mom a few weeks ago. And she was pulling some tricks, and I saw that little gleam in her eyes, and she's like, yeah, gotcha. And then she put down her cards, and she totally kicked my butt. So those are just wonderful memories. Or having I can always talk about my grandkids for days and days and days, how much joy these kids are giving me every single moment that I'm with them. Halloween was fabulous, so fabulous. The way they dressed up, and then we went trick-or-treating, and they had they had zoned off a whole part of town, and there was something at every single house. There were hundreds of people trick-or-treating together, just spectacular. Or when I sit in the monastery of Hildegard von Bingen and the nuns start singing, it's just unbelievable. So those are a few highlights in my own life. And I would like for you to just gather a few highlights in your own life as well right now. Childhood memories, people you so love and adore. Just being in their presence gives you that joy, that happiness, that presence. Something that might have happened yesterday. And just gather all of those beautiful memories right now. Put them in your heart and just feel that. And be present with it. Because the mind doesn't know the difference between something you're imagining, something you're experiencing right now, something you experienced in the past, or something you're expecting to experience in the future. Isn't that crazy? It's happening right here, right now in your mind. For your subconscious mind, it's right here, right now. So let's breathe that in. And give yourself thanks and give your higher power thanks that you just were able to tap into those memories. So that's strategy number 1. You simply think about experiences in your past when you had it, because in that moment you will reactivate that neurology in your brain and, of course, the emotions in your heart that then become a consistent, coherent stream of energy that you send out into the universe. And you're going to create more of that. So anytime when you feel depressed or you have something going on that's not to your liking, or you feel that you don't have choice, whatever is going on, you can immediately, instantly activate an attitude of gratitude, a grateful mindset, by thinking of times when you were grateful in your life. Okay, everybody got that? Check. Number 2, that's actually one I love a lot. And I did that before I even knew I was doing it. You model other people. Who are the most grateful people in your life? Just think about it right now. Go quick little circle in your family. Think about who inspired you. Your pet animal, perhaps even. Doesn't have to be people. It could be a friend that you had a long time ago, a friend you have now. I have a friend, she's from India, her name is Sonia. Anytime I think of her, I am with her, I have to laugh, I'm happy, she inspires me, it's always a good time. My friends Marco and Annette in Frankfurt, always, always, always love these guys and always have a great time with them. I'm so grateful that I've had this friendship for over 3 decades. So think of people in your life that you admire for their ability to be grateful. They are those people who bring the light into the room. They are the people who turn those negative situations into learning experiences. They're always somehow able to reframe something into something positive. You got some people in your life like that? Yeah. And there are many like that in this room, of course. I'm always preaching to the choir when I talk to you guys. You know this stuff. You're doing it. And it doesn't have to be someone you personally know. It can actually be someone you don't know. I had my Madonna phase. I remember when I would put makeup on when I was 18, 19 years old, ready to go to the bar, because we can drink in Germany at 16 years old, in case you didn't know that. And we're able to go to bars. So yeah, I was a barfly at that time. And I would put on makeup, and I pretended being Madonna in her dressing room getting ready, because I was painfully shy. And by putting on my Madonna persona, I'm not talking about the Madonna of Mother of Jesus, I'm talking about Madonna the rock star. I was actually now I'm doing the other one. I was actually tapping into my more outgoing, I don't give a whatever about what other people think. I'm going to dress the way I want. I had the bleach blonde hair and all that fun stuff. And it helped me, it encouraged me to be more outgoing, to be able to talk to people and not just turn red and turn away. Or later, I had my Angelina Jolie face when she did Tomb Raider, because I wanted to be that, I wanted to have my power. And yeah, she got out there and she did what she wanted and all that. So I needed some power in my corner, and I needed some of these archetypes, these women, these warrior women who just do what they want and they get what they want. Because I didn't feel that internally at that time. So think of some of those people, and those are not necessarily my gratitude people. So Hildegard von Bingen is my ultra awesome example. And I only live like 20 miles from where she resided and where she did her magic. I mean, just amazing. And there is no trip that I will not go to the monastery just to hang out in that energy. Because I know she walked in those halls. She touched those stones. She prayed in those places. Oh, phenomenal. And we can immerse ourselves in that energy. We can entrain ourselves in that energy. So when you do watch Eckhart Tolle, or you're listening to someone who inspires you, Deepak Chopra, or it's Joe Dispenza, or Greg Braden, whoever it is, Louise Hay. When I read Louise Hay, it immediately transports me. Doesn't it with you too, when you read one of your favorite authors? You're immediately feeling it in your bones, that gratitude and that energy that this person is entraining you with. So that's the second method. You simply think of someone else, and then you become them. And you experience life from their point of view. So let's do that together right now. Think of someone who deeply inspires you, someone you know personally, someone you've known in the past, someone you know of. And it doesn't have to be anybody who is alive right now. They could have lived hundreds and thousands of years ago, and they're still inspiring you, and you love reading about them or their writings, watch their videos, however you are experiencing them. And I would like for you to just gently and kindly ask them if it's okay to step into their shoes for a moment. And then imagine floating out of yourself and floating into the other person. Become that person now and just experience life from their point of view. And what makes them so special? What makes them so attractive to you? Look at those qualities. Perhaps it's a deep sense of trust, or they have a deep sense of presence. Perhaps they really have excellent humor, or they're super talented in some artistic way. They have an expression of gratitude that inspires you. And I would like for you to really feel that, because we are all connected, we are all interwoven, we are all one. So we are able to truly get the essence of another person when we do it with humility and intent. So gather all the information about that person right now and what it means to you. And then send that as a beautiful wave of love from that person to yourself. And accompany it with a verbal message. Some kind of encouragement, words of kindness, words of affirmation. I believe in you, you can do it. I see you. You are so beautiful. You have the same skills I have. Whatever it is that this person is now sharing with you, please share that as that person. As you gently float back into yourself, wiggle around a little bit, become yourself again fully and completely, look the other person in the eyes and hear that message. You can do it. I believe in you. You have what it takes. You're so beautiful. You're perfect just the way you are. Whatever it is that they just shared with you. Hear it now with your own ears. Feel it in your own body. And put that deep into your heart. Put that knowledge deep into your heart. So that it can rest there and become the foundation of your belief system and knowing who you are. Yeah, let's breathe that in. What a lovely thing. What a beautiful gift. And please thank that person right now. Thank you so much for showing up for me today. And now, one more level. We're going to talk to our higher power. I like to call God God. In my naive, childish way, I say, lieber Gott, dear God. Well, I'm going to call it the universe for now. And I would like for you to simply open yourself up to the oneness, the all, the everything, source, divinity, whatever words you use for it. And you know exactly how it feels when you fully open yourself up to that incredible power, the unmeasurable, the undefinable. It's so huge, we don't even have words for it. The infinite. And fully open yourself up to it and just be in it. Be connected to everything on this earth, everything in the universe, and just feel that in every pore, every fiber of your being, every cell of your body, and just allow yourself to be in that. And then I would like for you to simply listen what kind of message is congealing itself in that space, from that perspective. It might just be a sound, it might be a song, it might be a hum, a rhythm, or actual words. It might be a feeling in your body, a visual of some shape or color. You just trust that whatever message you're getting right now is the perfect message for you right here, right now. Be the one right now. Be the whole universe. And share the most magnificent, powerful message that you can for the human, the embodiment, that beautiful facet of you that is your human self. And just send it from the all, from the universe to yourself. And then settle back into your physical body, move around a little bit, wiggle a little bit. And receive that message. And breathe that in. Very nice. Feel the energy in the room right now as we're all embracing our wholeness and the whole universe flowing through us. And so for your conscious mind, we practice 3 ways today of how we can instantly change our attitude and get into a mindset of gratitude by thinking about experience in our own life, by thinking about people that we love and adore, that we have a connection with, and by connecting with the universe. And so it is. As we now take this beautiful energy that you just felt into a prayer, as we give thanks to the universe for all its splendor, for its glory, its bigness, that it is undefinable, that it is unexplainable. It is so, so magnificent that words simply can't touch it. And when we are in the presence of this magnitude, we know that all is well, that everything is just flowing perfectly the way it's supposed to. We affirm the goodness of the universe. We affirm the rightness. We know that what is because it's supposed to be that way. And that is enough. Just being present in that isness, in that beingness, is all we need to do. And we are so grateful for this fantastic place that we get to live at. That we are part of this amazing universe that is flowing through us. That we are a facet of. Every single one of us, every being on this planet, every being in this universe is a powerful, beautiful expression in its own right, in its own unique way of this oneness. And we are so grateful for that. That we get to be in this very specific physical manifestation that we have attracted. Where we were born, who we are, the roles we get to play, what we get to do on a daily basis. It's all perfect. And we give thanks for that perfection, that which is. Because it's all here to serve us. It's here to help us thrive and evolve, to grow and learn, and to just experience life. To be present and to be grateful for what we have. And we like to affirm this together by saying, and so it is.